Hey, what's up? It's Privacy Jerry here. It's time for another Sunday's live stream. So, speaking of that, um, now I just want to tell you that happening along. It's during yesterday's as Biggie's pass. So it's 27 years of Biggie because basically, and you know that happened because of Biggie passed over drive-by shooting. Because as you may notice, he's a legendary rapper, Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls, what are your favorite songs from Biggie Smalls? Because I'm gonna have a talk about Biggie Smalls. So, what are your favorites about Biggie Smalls? Or More Money, More Problems, Big Papa, whatever that is. So yeah, and then whatever more songs that is from Biggie. So legendary comes from hip hop. It's all of our dreams. And also, today's Mario Day because of Super Mario Day, and I heard about which is announcing Super Mario Bros. Movie 2. We'll get to that on my third channel, A Privacy J Productions 3, in a moment. So right now, and also this week, we're trying to work on these two videos as premiered. So which is Astro Lumina that we went last Friday, and including that we missed last year, what's it called? Philosophy hip hop. Philosophy hip hop. So yeah, that's why I checked. And more videos coming along the way. So I'll let you guys know when. So give a heads up, okay? Anywho's, let's go to today's topics. So speaking of field of lights, let me excuse the ads. So I'll close the ads. Oh, we don't want to see that. Field of light. So in NYC in Manhattan, let's see what's happening along for this winter. So please read.
This magnificent field of light installation will brighten up Manhattan's East Side this winter.
Next paragraph.
Field of Light at Freedom Plaza will officially open on December 15th. Complimentary timed tickets are now available right here.
Next paragraph.
Scheduled to open this winter for year-long residents, English-Australian artist Bruce Monroe is bringing his Field of Light public art installation to Manhattan's East Side. The immersive piece will transform more than 6 acres, from 38th Street to 41st Street on First Avenue, at the mixed-use Freedom Plaza space near the United Nations headquarters. Recommended: a giant garden of flowers just opened inside of Grand Central Terminal. Honoring New York City as a beacon of freedom and home around the world. Per a press release, the installation will consist of an array of 17,000 low-light, fiber-optic stemmed spheres that will illuminate with a range of colors, creating a landscape that will almost look painted. The spheres will be powered by solar energy, the nexus of art, technology and nature. Bruce shares an aligned commitment to the use of sustainable and innovative technologies to spark imagination and push the bounds of creativity. We are thrilled to work with him on this significant project, said Stefan Soloviv, chairman of Soloviv Group, which is behind the development of Freedom Plaza. The artist himself, whose works have been displayed everywhere from London's Victoria and Albert Museums, the Sharjah Museum of Art in the UAE to the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum right here in New York, said of the project, "Light has always played a major part in my life and work, and for me, is a natural medium to use. With the light installation at Freedom Plaza in Manhattan, I intend to stimulate the imagination and senses of any viewer by creating a breathtaking immersive experience that utilizes every hue of light to create a visual Eden." The Field of Light installation is but one program planned for Freedom Plaza, which will also reportedly see a museum highlighting human rights and freedom of speech. thought and expression. The museum collection will feature artworks from international artists, including large-scale experiential installations, as well as historical artifacts, such as slabs from the actual Berlin Wall, walking paths, shopping and dining options. A gaming facility and a hotel are also in the works for the waterfront space. The Field of Light display will be accessible to the public starting this winter and will be on view for 12 months.
All right. So move along to the tech updates for today's topics. Top stories: new MacBook Air, which is announced already, iOS 17.4 release, and more. So please read right now.
We heard some last-minute rumblings that an Apple product launch might be coming this week, and indeed it did with the debut of new MacBook Air models based on Apple's M3 chip.
Next paragraph.
Alongside the new MacBook Air, we got the usual spring refresh with new Apple Watch band and iPhone case colors, while this week also saw the release of iOS 17.4 and related operating system updates, so read on below for details on these stories and more. Apple announces new MacBook Air models with M3 chip. Apple this week updated the 13-inch and 15-inch MacBook Air with several new features, including the M3 chip for faster performance, Wi-Fi 6E support, expanded external display support, an anti-fingerprint seal on the midnight finish, and microphone improvements.
Next paragraph.
The new MacBook Air models became available to order immediately after the announcement on Monday, with the launch following on Friday, March 8th. Apple has discontinued the 13-inch MacBook Air with the M1 chip and the 15-inch MacBook Air with the M2 chip as part of this refresh, while the 13-inch MacBook Air with the M2 chip now starts at $999 in the US. The first reviews and unboxing videos for the new MacBook Air were published just ahead of the launch, and we've gone hands-on with the machine ourselves for some early impressions. 14-inch MacBook Pro with M3 chip to get multi-display support with software update. The new MacBook Air models support 2 external displays when the laptop's lid is closed. Previous models were officially limited to 1 external display, although display link adapters allow for more.
Next paragraph.
Apple has confirmed that the 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M3 chip will also gain support for up to 2 external displays with a software update. As with the MacBook Air, the laptop's lid will need to be closed to use a second display. Apple releases iOS 17.4 with EU app changes, new emoji, podcast transcripts, and more. Apple this week released iOS 17.4 for the iPhone following over a month of beta testing.
Next.
iOS 17.4 include major App Store, Safari, and Apple Pay changes in the EU as a result of the Digital Markets Act. Other key new features include Apple Podcasts transcripts, an iMessage security upgrade, new emoji, and Apple Cash virtual card numbers. The update also further prepares for the launch of next-generation CarPlay this year.
Next paragraph.
Later in the week, Apple released macOS Sonoma 14.4, watchOS 10.4, tvOS 17.4, HomePod software 17.4, and visionOS 1.1. Apple refreshes iPhone case and Apple Watch band colors as it does on a seasonal basis. Apple this week updated some of the colors available for select iPhone cases and Apple Watch bands.
Next paragraph.
For example, Apple's silicone case with MagSafe for iPhone is now available in new soft mint, sunshine, light blue, and pink color options.
Next paragraph.
Apple has yet to announce a new color option for the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus, and it's unclear if it has any plans to. EU fines Apple $2 billion for anti-competitive behavior towards Spotify. The European Commission this week levies a significant fine of nearly $2 billion against Apple due to alleged anti-competitive behavior towards Spotify.
Next paragraph.
In response, Apple said EU officials failed to uncover any credible evidence of consumer harm, and said its decision ignores the realities of a market that is thriving, competitive, and growing fast.
Next paragraph.
Spotify said the decision marks an important moment in the fight for a more open internet for consumers. Apple to let EU iPhone users delete Safari and more easily transition to Android. Apple already introduced several changes to the App Store and more on iOS 17.4 in the EU in response to the Digital Markets Act.
Okay. I'm going to skip that. Anyways, let's move on to the next topic. Here are all the M3 Max still expected this year. So please read.
Earlier this week, Apple announced new 13-inch and 15-inch MacBook Air models, the first Mac updates of the year, featuring M3 series chips. But there are other Macs in Apple's lineup still to be updated to the latest M3 processors.
Next paragraph.
So, where do the Mac Mini, Mac Studio, and Mac Pro fit into Apple's M3 roadmap for the year ahead? Here's what the latest rumors say. Mac Mini Apple announced M2 and M2 Pro Mac Mini models in January 2023, which at the time of writing is over 400 days ago.
Next paragraph.
Bloomberg's Mark Gurman said in July that he believes a new Mac Mini won't emerge until late 2024 at the earliest, and we haven't heard any other rumors that move the dial since then. On the other hand, Apple may choose not to upgrade the Mac Mini this year and skip the M3 entirely. Approximately 26 months passed between the launch of the M1 Mac Mini and the update to the M2 Mac Mini. Going forward, perhaps the company has an 18-month upgrade cycle in mind, which would mean we could see an M4 Mac Mini in the spring of 2025. Mac Studio Apple updated the Mac Studio with M2 series chips in June 2023. Mac Studio models come with either the M2 Max or M2 Ultra chip, so logic would suggest we should expect equivalent M3 variants.
Next paragraph.
However, according to a January report by Taiwanese research firm TrendForce, a new Mac Studio model will launch in mid-2024 with a more powerful M3 Ultra chip than we might otherwise expect.
Next paragraph.
According to the report, the M3 Ultra chip will be fabricated with TSMC's N3 node, just like the A18 chip that is expected to debut in the iPhone 16 lineup later this year. This means it would be Apple's first N3 chip. N3 is an enhanced version of TSMC's 3nm process, offering slightly better performance and higher production and yield. A couple of days after the TrendForce report, Gurman said he believes Apple is working on a new Mac Studio that is likely to be offered with the as yet unannounced fourth variant of the M3 chip. This will, like previous generations, double the components of the Max version, meaning that it will feature up to 32 CPU cores and 80 GPU cores. Gurman says that it is likely to launch in the second half of 2024. Mac Pro. Along with the Mac Studio, Apple updated the Mac Pro with M2 series chips during WWDC in June 2023. The Mac Pro is only available in a single chip configuration, and currently ships with the M2 Ultra chip that's used in the Mac Studio.
Next paragraph.
Logically then, we should expect the next Mac Pro to receive an update to add the same M3 Ultra chip alongside the Mac Studio, just like it received the M2 Ultra chip last year. Like previous generations, this will likely double the components of the Mac's version, meaning that it will feature up to 32 CPU cores and 80 GPU cores.
Okay, so with the last one.
Indeed, Gurman thinks Apple is likely to refresh the Mac Pro with this new high-end chip in the second half of the year. Notably, he does not believe that Apple is likely to again abandon the machine after only 1 year.
Okay, so we're gonna discuss this during on my new MacBook Pro update on this Thursday. Okay, we're gonna schedule that on this Thursday. So be prepared on this Thursday. Let's move on to today's topics. So, iOS rumor recap. iOS 18 rumor recap. Please read.
iOS 18 is still months away from being unveiled, but there are already several rumors and expectations for the software update, as outlined below.
Next paragraph.
iOS 18 is rumored to include new ChatGPT-inspired generative AI features for Siri in many built-in apps, and Apple plans to add RCS support to the Messages app for an improved texting experience between iPhones and Android devices. The update is also rumored to have some design changes, but details remain slim. iOS 18 is expected to be announced at Apple's annual developers conference WWDC in June, and widely released in September.
AI. Next paragraph.
Smarter Siri and generative AI. OS 18 is rumored to have new generative AI features for Siri, Spotlight, Shortcuts, Apple Music, Messages, Health, Numbers, Pages, Keynote, and more, according to sources such as Bloomberg's Mark Gurman and The Information's Wayne Ma. Apple CEO Tim Cook has repeatedly teased that the company is working on generative AI, and plans to share details later this year. Generative AI surged in popularity in late 2022 when OpenAI released ChatGPT, a chatbot that can respond to questions and other text prompts. The company has also expanded into generative AI tools for images and videos.
Okay, next paragraph.
Some generative AI features might be exclusive to iPhone 16 models, which are rumored to have a neural engine with significantly more cores. RCS support in Messages app. In November, Apple announced that it would support the cross-platform messaging standard RCS in the Messages app on the iPhone starting later in 2024, so it will likely be an iOS 18 feature based on that time frame.
Next.
Between iPhones and Android devices, higher resolution photos and videos, audio messages, typing indicators, read receipts, Wi-Fi messaging between iPhones and Android devices, improved group chats, including the ability for iPhone users to leave a conversation that includes Android users. These modern features are already available for iPhone to iPhone conversations with blue bubbles. by iMessage, and many of the features are also available in third-party messaging apps, such as WhatsApp and Telegram. RCS support on the iPhone will extend the features to green bubbles in the Messages app.
Design changes. Next paragraph.
In a February edition of his newsletter, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman said Apple was working to update the design of iOS as early as this year.
Next.
Gurman has yet to reveal any specific design changes plans for iOS. In a November edition of his newsletter, however, he said Apple's senior management described iOS 18 as ambitious and compelling, with major new features and designs. Gurman does not expect iOS 18 to receive a total overhaul that mirrors Vision OS.
All right. Next paragraph. iPad Air and Pro could both feature landscape FaceTime camera. Please read.
Apple's upcoming redesigned iPad Air and low-LED iPad Pro models could include a front-facing camera positioned on the side of the device so that it is upright when in a landscape orientation, individual rumors suggest.
Next.
Currently, the iPad Air and both iPad Pro models in Apple's lineup feature a FaceTime camera on the top of the device, which puts the camera off-center when taking a FaceTime call in landscape mode. Seemingly recognizing the issue, Apple on the 10th generation iPad relocated the front-facing camera to the side of the device so that it would be usable in landscape mode rather than portrait mode. Apple has not launched an iPad since, but it appears that Apple could be making this change on future iPads as well.
Next paragraph.
In January of this year, code discovered in iOS 17.4 suggested the next iPad Pro could adopt a similar design for the FaceTime camera. During Face ID setup, iPad needs to be in landscape with the camera at the top of the screen, read the code. Now, occasional leaker Instant Digital on the Chinese social platform Weibo has claimed that this change is also coming to the two rumored new versions of the iPad Air in both 10.9 and 12.9-inch sizes. How Apple has achieved this switch to a landscape FaceTime camera on the new iPad models is unclear, since the second-generation Apple Pencil connects to both the iPad Air and iPad Pro using an inductive magnetic charger along the same side. But with Apple rumored to be launching a new Apple Pencil alongside the updated iPads, Apple may have come up with a solution to the issue. Either way, we should find out soon. Both the new iPad Air and low-LED iPad Pro models are expected to launch as soon as this month.
All right. So, anyway, guys, that's gonna be this on this Sunday's live stream to talk about field lights. And let's see what I can do. I can go to the field of lights and I'll let you guys know when to have it release the video. And keep you guys heads up for more and keep watching to have more next Sunday to talk about. So yeah. So keep in mind we'll have more updates. We'll have tech updates to talk about during on the stream. And then coming up, there will be on my third channel to talk about Mario 10. Mario 10, which is Super Mario Day. Happy Mario Day, because it's like a Nintendo announced it, so I'll let you guys know when to keep your heads up or keep watching for more on this channel. So and on my third channel. So don't forget. And one more thing, I'm working on it on my music channel to work on as a request as the T-Pain Up Down so far lately. I haven't done doing this for like a few weeks and more songs. So I'll let you guys know until I look up on Spotify and YouTube or whatever. I'll let you guys know when. So yeah. So like and comment and subscribe, but let me know all about it. So you can subscribe to my 3 channels, the Privacy J Productions 1, 2, and 3, and on my content. All of my social medias will let you know all about it. Facebook, my name is Jaden Garcia, and Instagram is JTech727, and Snapchat is Scoots0727, and follow me on X, it's PrivacyJNYC1. So thanks for watching, and peace out, and have a great night.